The game just dropped a decision so explosive that it has sent shockwaves through the entire WWE universe, and what triggered this absolute nuclear fallout was an act of revenge so devastating that it crossed every line imaginable. Before we dive into the madness that just went down, hit that subscribe button and smash the notifications bell because WWE Extreme is about to break down the firing that has everyone picking sides. Let's get the facts straight right out of the gate because in the age of clickbait chaos, truth matters more than ever. IYO SKY has not been legitimately fired from WWE. She's still under contract, still one of the most electrifying performers on the roster, and still has an incredibly bright future ahead of her. Additionally, Bianca Belair is not in critical condition. She's not hospitalized, and she's absolutely fine. What we're dealing with here is high-octane wrestling storytelling that's designed to create drama, spark debate, and keep fans glued to their screens every single week. But just because this is storyline doesn't mean we can't analyze why this angle is absolutely brilliant and what it means for both women moving forward. Let's talk about IYO SKY, because if you've been sleeping on this woman's talent, you need to wake up immediately and pay attention. This Japanese wrestling savant came to WWE with a reputation that preceded her like thunder before lightning. Her work in Stardom was the stuff of legend, delivering matches that had hardcore wrestling fans losing their minds over the sheer artistry and athleticism on display. Since joining WWE, she's brought that same electric energy, that same death-defying aerial assault, that same technical brilliance that makes every single one of her matches feel like appointment viewing. When IYO SKY hits that moonsault, it's not just a move, it's poetry in motion. It's physics-defying logic. It's the kind of moment that reminds you why you fell in love with professional wrestling in the first place. Now let's shift our focus to Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE, the woman who combines raw power with unmatched athleticism and charisma that could light up Madison Square Garden during a blackout. Bianca has been one of WWE's most consistent performers for years now, carrying championship gold, main eventing premium live events, and representing the company as one of its top ambassadors. Her journey from collegiate track star to NXT standout to WrestleMania main eventer has been nothing short of inspirational. That ridiculous strength that allows her to military press opponents like they're made of styrofoam. That braid that's become a legitimate weapon in her arsenal. That million-dollar smile that turns into an intimidating scowl when it's time to get serious. Everything about Bianca screams superstar. She's not just good at wrestling. She's exceptional at the entire performance. And that's what separates stars from legends. So what could possibly cause these two incredible performers to clash so violently that it results in a firing angle? In the world of WWE storytelling, the best feuds are built on personal stakes, real emotion, and escalating tension that explodes into violence. Maybe Bianca cost IYO a championship opportunity that she'd been working toward for months. Maybe Bianca said something disrespectful about IYO's accomplishments in Japan, diminishing her legacy before she arrived in WWE. Maybe there's history between them involving damage control, IYO's faction, and some perceived slight that's been festering like an infected wound waiting to burst. Whatever the inciting incident, IYO's revenge was apparently so extreme, so far beyond the boundaries of acceptable competition, that Triple H felt compelled to terminate her contract on the spot. At least that's the story we're being sold. And honestly, it's a compelling one. Here's where the psychology gets fascinating because firing someone like IYO SKY sends multiple messages simultaneously. First, it establishes that nobody is above consequences, regardless of how talented they are or how much fan support they have. Second, it creates instant sympathy for IYO's character if the attack was somewhat justified or if management overreacted to the situation. Third, it elevates the seriousness of this feud to main event level. Because if someone is willing to throw away their WWE contract just to hurt their enemy, that's intensity you can't fake. Fourth, and perhaps most importantly, it sets up an inevitable return angle that can be stretched out over weeks or months, building anticipation until IYO finds her way back onto WWE programming with a vengeance that makes her previous aggression look tame by comparison. The attack itself that led to this firing must have been absolutely brutal from a storytelling perspective. We're probably talking about a sustained assault that involved weapons, interference from other damage control members, multiple officials trying to restore order and failing miserably, medical personnel rushing to check on Bianca, and IYO completely losing control in a way we've never seen from her before. Maybe she used chairs like a drummer playing the most violent symphony ever composed. Maybe she put Bianca through tables, off stages, into barricades with the kind of relentless assault that makes you question whether she remembers this is supposed to be entertainment. The more vicious the attack appears, the more justified Triple H's decision becomes from a narrative standpoint, and the more investment fans have in seeing how this situation resolves itself. Triple H's role as the decision-maker here adds another layer of complexity because the game isn't just some corporate executive who doesn't understand wrestling culture. He's someone who lived this life, who understands what makes compelling television, who knows how to push boundaries while still maintaining the integrity of the product. If Triple H is firing IYO SKY in storyline, it's not a knee-jerk reaction. It's a calculated move designed to accomplish specific storytelling objectives. Maybe it's testing IYO's range as a performer by putting her in a vulnerable position where she has to show different emotions beyond her usual confident demeanor. Maybe it's creating space in the women's division for new feuds and matchups while IYO is temporarily sidelined. Maybe it's building toward a larger angle where IYO has to fight her way back, proving she deserves to be on the roster through a series of challenges or matches. Every decision in modern WWE storytelling serves the larger narrative. The women's division is absolutely stacked right now with talent from all over the world, which makes these high-stakes storylines even more impactful. You've got former champions hungry to reclaim gold, rising stars looking for their breakthrough moment, international sensations bringing different styles and perspectives, and homegrown talent that's been developed through WWE system. Removing someone as prominent as IYO SKY from the equation creates opportunities for others to step up, but it also creates a void that everyone feels. She brings something unique to every show she's on. That Japanese strong style mixed with high-flying innovation that sets her apart from everyone else on the roster. Her absence would be noticeable, which is exactly why her eventual return will feel like such a massive moment. Thanks for watching, and remember, in WWE, getting fired is just a setup for an even more epic comeback. The aftermath of this attack is going to be absolutely must-see television. How does Tiffany respond? Does she run scared? Or does she stand her ground and prove she deserves to be champion? How does the rest of the women's division react to Jade essentially declaring war on the title picture? And most importantly, how far is Jade willing to go to get what she wants? Because if this attack was just the opening statement, the rest of this story is going to be absolutely insane. Jade Cargill turning heel,